From the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio, this is Marquette Now.
Good evening, I'm Katie Munson.
And I'm Andrew Hubbock. Welcome to Marquette Now.
Coming up, the College of Education gets some love in hard times.
The barbershop in Straz Hall and the community it's built.
I was insulted within the first minute of being in the place. I'm like, oh, love it.
Professors hitting the bowling lanes after hours.
I'm more of an average bowler, and when I do better than average, it's fun.
And later, taking you inside one of the most iconic parts of campus. Listen up.
MUPD reports reduced campus crime rates, giving credit to the university's safety task force.
The force addresses sustainable solutions for campus safety and security.
In the past 6 months, task force initiatives have seen a 46% decrease in campus robberies and a 26% decrease in vehicle theft.
8 out of the 12 force's priority goals are complete, including reimagined campus transportation and expanded safety alert text to parents and guardians. 4 of the priorities are still in progress. Communities are mourning the victims of the Michigan State University shooting.
If you are struggling during this time, consider reaching out to campus resources.
Marquette's Counseling Center, Campus Ministry, Employee Assistance Program, or your resident assistant can all help provide help.
Student representatives are needed to fill several vacancies on university committees. The University Academic Senate, Committee on Diversity and Equity, University Board of Undergraduate Studies, University Assessment Committee, and Committee on Teaching all have openings. Reach out to Jen Reed if you are interested in getting involved.
There are many school districts around the country experiencing teacher shortages, but a couple of College of Education students are trying to spread positivity through the work of art. Marquette Now's Timothy Leteau takes us next to the paint cans.
Tucked away in Schrader Hall is room 118.
We noticed this space was a little drab and dreary,
which could use a change. Fortunately, it has Delaney and Mia for that.
It's been a long time coming, but we're really happy to see it happen today.
Their mural took a year and a half to come to fruition, but all that's left to do now is get some color on the wall for the rainbow-themed design.
Mia and I were just thinking about something that would be kind of a symbol of hope. Rainbows, I feel, are like a universal sign of hope and happiness, and so it was pretty easy to settle on that. It was the colors that was the hard part to decide.
The colors were chosen to be calming while simultaneously hopeful and inspiring. Classmates turned besties are trying to spread the love in the College of Education.
Lately you see, like, on social media, a lot of teacher burnout and lack of support from administration these days in a lot of schools. So I think that's kind of like contributing to that negative view. Everybody who's in the College of Education is here for a reason, and we all share that passion for it.
We've had a lot of the same classes together, whether that be planned or not. And I don't know, we just
get each other.
Yeah, we work really well together academically too. Both very much not so procrastinators.
Type A, if you will. Type A teachers.
They're the ones spreading the positivity in education.
It's such an important thing as teachers to have a sense of hope, like hope for the future of the profession and for the kids that we're teaching. So it's kind of like a little reminder of that.
Type A teachers painting inside the lines with the goal of spreading hope well beyond them. I'm Timothy Leteau, Marquette Wire News.
Straz Hall's Recplex has been taking on more visitors due to the closing of the Hellfair Rec Center. Both community members and students have used the facilities at the Plex ever since the building's conversion from the YMCA to Straz Hall. Now that the rec is closed, students have noticed that the impact Milwaukee natives have on the Plex.
Marquette bought the Plex Straz in 1993, and then they opened up the Recplex and the dorms above it. I know a lot of them come as friends. They come in groups in the morning. It's central to downtown, so they'll come before work or after work.
At first, I was kind of like not the biggest fan just because it got busier as I was working out, especially now with it being closed. But I learned that it used to be a YMCA, so I kind of understand why it is so open to the community.
Darty is glad that locals can have a safe, clean, and place to work out, but he feels that the Plex is overcrowded.
Students and faculty have the opportunity to join the philosophy department in their new seminar series. During most Fridays in the spring semester, professors throughout the country are sharing their philosophical work. These seminars aim to educate and encourage thought in the field and the world around them.
The thing about philosophy, it's done best in conversation and dialogue with others. So, if, Marquette is a place where we care about educating the whole person, right? Cura personalis. And so, if you feel locked in your particular major or your particular interest, guess what? You can come to philosophy colloquia and get food for thought.
Those interested can also join the seminars online by contacting the philosophy department directly.
A local journalist gets written into the history books as she is honored by the university with an honorary doctorate. Karen Lincoln Michelle has been working in newsrooms since her graduation from Marquette Graduate School in 1989. Michelle knows the trade, spending time as a publisher, editor, writer, and reporter.
There were so many things that Marquette did for me, and all of that has really helped me to, enable me to do the things that I do in my daily work.
Michelle has articles in major publications such as the Washington Post, Chicago Tribune, and American Indian. She now serves as the president of Indig Public Media. Indig provides news about indigenous communities to audiences across the globe.
There needs to be more diversity in newsrooms, and that there needs to be more people of color in key decision-making roles. That's the only way that things are going to change.
Michelle is a member of the Ho-Chunk tribe and emphasizes the importance of creating safe spaces in newsrooms for journalists of color.
It can be hard for incoming students to settle into a new lifestyle away from home. Part of that adjustment phase is finding a place to find a haircut. Luckily, there's a little barbershop on campus with a big heart. I dropped in to highlight it.
Right in the heart of Straz Tower lives an institution that's been chopping it up with both new hairstyles and some good old-fashioned chit-chat.
And I think I was insulted within the first minute of being in the place. I'm like, love it.
Bob's Barbershop was founded in 1964 by Bob Krebsbach. Bob passed away 8 years ago, but his brand of tough love for his clients left a lasting impression on those who knew him.
He didn't, if he yelled at you or swore at you or gave you crap, he liked you.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, most of the Jesuits were his dearest friends. I mean, 9 of them were on the altar for his funeral at Jesu. Yeah, and he talked to them just like he talked to everybody else. They'd open their wallets to pay, and he'd go like this. He'd go, "You see all those moths coming out of their wallets?" Yeah. Hello, barbershop.
Bob's daughter, Crystal, or Chris Sanfilippo, runs the shop now along with Jake Cohen, a newer face who joined the shop 6 years ago. And by treating all customers with the same warmth that Bob did, they've had no trouble retaining their loyal customer base.
The gentleman who's disabled, he's like, sometimes people are not nice to me, and your dad always treated me with respect. He treated me like I was like everybody else.
And while students come and go, and the campus and city changes, Bob's remains a constant among its patrons.
It wasn't really going to get a haircut. It was like going to visit relatives or family.
Mm-hmm.
And those who enter to trim a bit off the top leave with some new friends and a shaping up of the soul. I'm Andrew Hubbock, Marquette Wire News.
A class of 2022 graduate has made a name for herself.
She's been included in a book that highlights stories of Latina women who have persevered and are achieving their goals.
Jessie Gomez shares her path as a woman moving from one Midwestern city to another to reach her dream of going to graduate school.
And so the premise of this book is kind of just sharing success stories from Latino women that are kind of college age or just getting into the workforce. In my chapter, I just focus a lot about my experience at Marquette, my experience as a first generation Mexican woman from Chicago, coming to Milwaukee and knowing that I wanted to go to dental school. So just kind of the hardships that I experienced in undergrad and then within the process of trying to continue and to go on and get into graduate school.
You can check out Jesse's chapter on today's Inspired Latino website.
I'm India Locke. Let's take a look outside at your current weather. Right now, it's cloudy. The temperature is 35 degrees, humidity's at 72%. There is no rain or snow, and the winds are coming in from the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Don't go anywhere, Marquette. We'll be right back with the rest of your weather forecast right after this.
Hey! There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm India Locke, here to take a closer look at your weather. Tonight, it's cloudy and breezy with a low of 29 degrees, humidity at 78%, and a 25% chance of rain or snow. Winds are coming in from the north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. For your state overnight lows, we've got over in Superior up north at 2 degrees. Our neighbors next door are Madison at 26 degrees, and we have Milwaukee leading the charge at 29 degrees. For tomorrow's highs, Superior is at 18 degrees, Madison once again is at 28 degrees, and Milwaukee once again leads the charge at 31 degrees. Tomorrow, snow is expected, approximately 6 to 10 inches, especially in the AM. There's a high of 31 degrees, humidity is at 86%. As I said before, you're definitely going to be seeing some snow out there, and the winds are coming in from the north-northeast at 16 miles per hour. For your 5-day forecast, Friday, it's sunny with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 20 degrees. Sunday, it's mostly sunny with a high of 42 degrees and a low of 30. And on Tuesday, continuing the week, it is cloudy with some snow at a high of 34 degrees and a low of 25 degrees. So guys, how are we feeling about all of this snow coming our way?
I'll be honest, India, I'm not feeling so good. Not gonna lie, looks like the groundhog didn't lie to us. A couple more weeks of winter.
Yeah, it's definitely getting chillier, but it's actually turning out to be perfect bowling weather. Daily classes might not be all fun and games, but these faculty members sure are.
Marquette Now's Kylie Brockway rolls over to the alley for this story.
Marquette's faculty has time to spare for this smashing activity.
I enjoy the camaraderie and out of the office with my teammates.
The Professor and Staff League takes to the lanes every Monday at the Annex.
I'm not the best bowler, but everyone here is always encouraging on your own team, on the other teams, and it's a wonderful night out, and it's quick and easy, and back at work the next day, and you can celebrate.
And celebrate they do.
One of my colleagues who's on my league, the very first time she bowled a strike, she was like jumping up and down, so excited. And when she got a trophy at the end of the year, she was jumping up and down yelling, "I can't believe I got a trophy, I got a trophy, I got a trophy." And it was so funny.
You can't quite put a pin on the Bonds bowling build.
Our different colleges that join us, and there are staffs from each department that joins.
There's no striking out in this game.
I'm more of an average bowler, and when I do better than average, it's fun. It's fun.
Average or not, the teams still have an incredible time. I'm Kylie Brockway, Marquette Wire News.
The theater department opens The Importance of Being Earnest next week. Oscar Wilde's classic play will be showed at Hellfair Theater this coming weekend and will close on February 26th. Tickets and more information can be found online on Marquette's ticket webpage.
Marquette Radio and MUTV are teaming up to host this year's Radio Roulette this Friday at 7 p.m. The event is changing names from last year's Battle of the Bands. 6 bands are coming together to compete for an opening spot at Marquette's spring concert. Tickets can be reserved for free on Eventbrite by scanning the QR code on the screen. The first 35 attendees have a chance to win a free ticket to Summerfest. Doors open at 6:30 p.m.
When you think about musical instruments, ones that you can actually carry probably come to mind.
But Marquette Now's Timothy Leteau doesn't just take us to the most common source of music on campus, he's taking us inside of it.
Whether you realize it or not, our ears are treated to these sounds every day, every 15 minutes.
Very few people play it. Very few people know that it is being played by a person.
Mark Canuco's ears hear the sounds of the carillon a little differently.
So it's a much different sound. My favorite part about playing the carillon is that I really like the sound of the bells. I really like what you can do with the sound and the mixture of bells playing different periods of music.
The official carillonneur of Marquette University knows his composers and history like the most avid sports fans.
So that's a piece by Gary White, contemporary composer, born in 1964. Same year that the instrument was built.
Marquette Hall was built in 1923. The tower was empty and silent for over 4 decades, and a donation from Mrs. John Dwan, which is 48 pounds. The smallest weighs 24 pounds, the largest 5,000, but carillons weren't always so big.
History of carillons really started in the Netherlands. You would have a tower with 2 or 3 bells, and then I'm building a tower, so I'm going to see if I can outdo him, and I'll put in 5, 6 bells. And that's how the instrument grew.
The instrument, first created in the 1500s, increased in size, and so did Mark's interest when his professor at the University of Chicago gave his ears a sample of that carillon.
And when he finished playing, I was totally transfixed. I love the sound of the instrument. You actually play the batons with your fists. It looks like I'm pounding it, but it's really a very light touch, making contact with the baton and then kind of bouncing off.
But Marquette's carillon has had anything but an easy past.
When I arrived, 20-some years ago, the instrument was in quite a state of disrepair. And the university, in its wisdom, decided that they would go after really funding and fixing the instrument.
The bells of the carillon, just one of 3 in Wisconsin, were actually cast in bronze more than 3,500 miles away.
They cast the bells in France and brought them over on the Queen Mary and came through the canal and brought them to the port of Milwaukee.
Now, they're just on the other side of Mark's office. History is just a fist or foot away for him, and always with an earshot for the rest of us. I'm Timothy Leteau, Marquette Wire News.
That's it for now, but don't go anywhere.
Aaron Howard will be back with sports right after this.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
I'm Jenny Garth.
And as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Roll over. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward, come together,
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Howard with your Marquette Now Sports Report. The Battle of the Big East is currently going on at Pfizer Forum as number 11 ranked Marquette and number 16 ranked Xavier are facing off on the Al McGuire court. The Golden Eagles are holding on to a tight 61-59 lead with about 3 minutes left in regulation. Stevie Mitchell leads Marquette with 17 points, Oso Ighodaro with 9 rebounds. Marquette has a half-game lead over Xavier, and with a win tonight, the Golden Eagles will secure first place in the Big East. Coming off a stunning win against the then number 4 ranked UConn Huskies, the women's basketball is currently in a grudge match with the Providence Friars in Rhode Island. The Golden Eagles have a 49-46 lead over the Friars with about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Senior forward Chloe Murata continues her big season for Marquette, leading the Golden Eagles with 26 points and 9 rebounds. Marquette hopes to secure the series win sweep over Providence with a win tonight. Number 2 ranked Notre Dame men's lacrosse is tough and too tough for the Marquette team to handle. The Golden Eagles were defeated 21-10 earlier this evening. Marquette is now 1-2 this season. The Marquette's lacrosse team starts the season off with a bang against San Diego State. Inside the Valley Fields Dome, the game starts off as a defensive standoff until junior attacker Brooke Waddell opens up the floodgates, scoring for the Aztecs. Marquette rallies, quickly scoring twice in 2 minutes. Marquette leads 2-1 at the end of the first quarter. It's all Marquette as 5 players combined for 10 total goals, propelling Marquette to a 12-4 lead going into half. In the third quarter, Lydia Faust continues to show why she was part of the Big East first team, scoring her 4th goal of the game. San Diego State will not go out without a fight as Waddell takes matters in her own hands, scoring 2 quick goals. But Faust puts the game away from Marquette as she scores her 7th goal of the game to secure the win, 20-13. This is the 2nd straight season that the Golden Eagles started in the win column.
You know, it's always good to it's just momentum, and that's a big focus of ours right now, is just building momentum and keeping it, and so nothing's better momentum than a win, so we're really excited about that.
Following their elite performances, Faust and Garcia make the Big East honor roll. Faust recorded a historic 7 goals, and Garcia added in 4 goals, 2 assists, and forced 3 turnovers in the victory. This marks the first time this season that the two made the honor roll. Coming up this week in athletics, the women's lacrosse team hopes to continue their hot streak this week on the road against Youngstown State on Friday at noon and at Cincinnati on Sunday at 11 a.m. The women's lacrosse team is back home at the Al McGuire Center this Saturday, hosting Big East rival St. John's at 2 p.m. And the men's basketball team hopes to stay atop the Big East, traveling to Creighton next Tuesday to take on the Blue Jays at 7:30 p.m. That's it for sports, but don't go anywhere. Marquette Now will be right back with our Down to the Wire segment.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Welcome back. I'm Katie Munson.
And I'm Andrew Hubbock. Marquette Wire Executive News Editor Julia Abuzahab joins us now for tonight's edition of Down to the Wire.
She's with Executive Arts and Entertainment Editor Izzy Fonfero-Drool to talk about the Marquette Tribune's local love spread. Julia?
Thank you so much, Katie and Andrew, and thank you too so much for joining me tonight. Izzy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks for asking. So yesterday, the local love insert of the Tribune came out. What was your reaction to seeing it in print?
Oh my God, I was just like so happy that it was finally done. It took so long. We were here quite late the other night, but I'm just so glad that it's finally done and it looks incredible.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the theme and like what went into the local love insert?
Yeah, so as a child, I was really into Greek mythology and everything. And so the inspiration I had for this is in ancient Greece, there are 7 different words for 7 different types of love. And so what I wanted to do was take those different types, assign them to reporters, and then have them go out into the Marquette community and see how we live those types of love in our lives.
Yeah, what kind of preparation went into making this insert?
So I actually started the process for this in like November-ish. I sat down with Megan Woolard, the managing editor of the Tribune, and we like brainstormed, we talked ideas about what to write, people that we wanted to write for this, things like that. So it's been quite a process, a couple months in the making.
What is one of your most favorite aspects about local love?
I really like the front page. I think it turned out really well, both with the editor's note and the photo that we managed to get from the sources. It looks incredible. And then the story that's on the front page is just awesome. I really love it.
Yeah, speaking about the editor's note, what kind of went into the creation of that?
Yeah, so I had never written an editor's note before. This is my very first time. And the criteria I was given was make it short. 200, 300 words, that was like my maximum. So I went to somebody that has experience with an editor's note. I went to Kim Cook, managing editor of the Journal. She was really helpful. She told me to look and see how this theme is represented in my own life. And then the other advice she gave me was just to sit there and free write. So I sat down for like 20 minutes, I wrote it, and then I like whittled it down into what the 200, 300 words I could have. And she told me, you will know when it, like I knew when mine was done when I cried, when I read it. And then I read mine and I cried. So that's how I knew it was finished.
Speaking of things that you wrote, what other stories did you write for Local Love?
Yeah, so I had quite a few things that went in. Along with the editor's note, I had a story about self-love and how it can be difficult to like do self-care in college. We also did something where I had a Q&A with a couple here. We talked about like the early parts of their relationship. That was really cute. And then Megan and I, we collaborated on a piece about unconventional date ideas that you can do in Milwaukee.
And what were some of the date ideas that you and Megan wrote about?
So you can go ice skating, which is super fun. Be careful, don't fall over, otherwise you'll hurt. We also, there's like a light exhibit down in Cathedral Square Park that we went to and looked at. Hockey, because there's the Milwaukee Admirals here, and then a couple other things that we had around.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the segment with me tonight, and I'll throw it back to Katie and Andrew in the studio.
That's our report for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Munson.
And I'm Andrew Hubbock. Remember to check MarquetteWire.org for all the latest campus news. Good night, Marquette.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.